And let's talk about I-77, a big talker. So tonight, we are getting, or today I should say, today, whatever. We're getting new reaction from local leaders after transit officials killed the I-77 South Express Lane project. Again, a lot of feedback from the community regarding this project, a lot of concern. So the CRTPO, we'll get to that in a minute, overturned their support in a shocking vote last night. Julie Kay is here in studio. And this, what number episode
I don't know.
has this been? Not a Flashpoint, because this is going to be featured on Flashpoint this Sunday, 11 a.m.
That's right.
And then
Flashpoint's biggest fan over here.
Flashpoint's biggest fan. But as far as Flashpoint, there have been other episodes on 77. That's what I was trying to figure out. Is this episode 3 on 77?
Maybe.
I feel like everything goes back to I-77.
And honestly, next week might be 4. Like, we really might have to with how much has happened. Also, happy for y'all that you get a day off. Speak for yourselves.
It wasn't to rub it in at all. I'm sorry,
I'll
Julie. It
be
wasn't to
here.
rub it in. It wasn't to rub it in.
Nick will be watching Flashpoint on his long weekend.
I will.
Sunday at 11 a.m. and then
I
on
will.
demand after. This is, huge news. We had, of course, inklings that a vote might be coming after Charlotte rescinded their support. Charlotte City Council making up a large number of the votes on the CRTPO. We weren't sure if it was going to happen last night or at the meeting in June, whether or not enough of the towns would join in that they'd have the votes to do it in the first place. But they added it to the agenda last minute, and the vote very narrowly passed. So, this is essentially, the project is dead. They can't do this without. What they voted to rescind support for was the funding agreement with the state, with NCDOT. That's $600 million that they had committed. You can't pull this project off in any capacity without that money. That just doesn't exist to compensate for that. But I think a lot of people, even people that wanted this project to continue, understand that this was controversial for a reason. It was not perfect. It would have taken a long time. They have released new iterations of the designs that do not threaten as many homes or existing green spaces.
Yeah.
But I think the damage from that initial November design, the damage was done right then and there. 7 months later, and people, regardless of whether or not the designs have changed, that is what people remember, is those initial designs that threatened hundreds of homes in historically black neighborhoods in McCrory Heights. And it's hard to come back from that. And so I think, when we kind of do a post-mortem on this over the next few weeks, that's the moment people are going to come back to. But before we can even do that, it has to be now what? Okay, the project's over.
Yeah.
Congestion still sucks on I-77.
Yeah.
What are we going to do instead? My biggest question that I think is going to be answered most quickly, because, how to fix I-77, we're going to be talking about this decades from now.
Oh, yeah. We've been talking about it decades prior.
Exactly. This is not stopping the conversation or the fact that something needs to happen, but our relationship with the state changes now. Already, the General Assembly, not a huge fan of Charlotte, Republican-led General Assembly.
That's an understatement, by the way.
This is my PR statement for what's going on.
Because we talked about that relationship between Raleigh and Charlotte.
It's not good.
It's not.
And this probably isn't going to help. What I'm curious next is, NCDOT is not even done with the designs, but so far on those designs, they've spent $60 million.
Yeah.
Are they going to want that back? Is the city of Charlotte now going to be facing a lawsuit from the Republican legislature, from NCDOT? Last episode of Flashpoint that we did with Councilman Ed Driggs, he seemed to think that was likely, given what Senate President Pro Tem Phil Berger had said in the past. So that's my next thought, is that's the question we're going to get answered next of, what now with that $60 million? Do we have to send it back? Who's going to be paying for that? Is it going to be a lawsuit, or is there just going to be an agreement? And so I think that's the question we'll get answered most quickly, but there are so many about what happens now. But yeah, the bottom line is that project as it stood with the toll lanes is not happening.
And an interesting thing I just thought about, you mentioned Phil Berger. November. We're going to get some new faces in the General Assembly.
Yeah.
guaranteed new faces, some probable new faces.
Sure.
So does that change at all? Are they a little bit more forgiving? I don't know. There are a lot of questions.
And how quickly is that going to be answered? This $60 million question, I'm not sure if that's going to be handled like now or after that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whoever would fill Berger's, leadership position would be more forgiving to Mecklenburg County. I am not even sure that, what this does to Phil Berger, knowing that he is leaving his seat, if this will make him more willing to let it go or more willing to pursue it. Like that, there's so many variables that we'll just have to wait and see, but it definitely adds an element of we don't know to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, a lot of we don't know, but we will be here to find out.
We will.
When we do know. Julie K, Ben Thompson, Flashpoint, Sunday, 11 a.m. You don't want to miss this episode. You don't want to miss any of the episodes.
Thank you.
Really good stuff there. Julie K covering all things politics. Oh, yeah, you can catch Julie's story at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
Julie, thank you for your time as always.
Thank you, Nick.